Hey, 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 we're back. Ken,
Well, sort
Ken,
of.
Ken, are you here?
Mm.
Oh, um, when am I?
And when are you from,
And
dearie?
what are you from, dearie?
Well, I was born in 1993, but I think it's year 2026. It's hard to keep up these days. Anyway,
Careful, don't tell us too much about the future.
oh, I won't. That was
Don't
a
break
good
the
day in the
rules.
pond. You guys should try it sometime.
Do you need a towel for your wet hair?
I got one right here.
Oh, that was
We can't quite
amazing.
see it.
Good to have you.
Hopefully I
Okay.
dry.
Hey, we're back. Season 4, episode 2. Sven, you used the adjective the other day when we were chit-chatting, looking at the edits and like the recording for last week, and you're like, we are just giddy at times talking about this. And I felt giddy sitting on the couch watching this episode.
Yep.
You loved this episode.
I loved this episode.
I liked it. I think it was a good one that like confirmed some things we were thinking about and then gets us thinking about what's to come. But I have a white flag to raise right off the beginning, and it has to do with Byron. And I'm just going to say that's done for me, I think. My Byron theory. We'll get to it later, but I
Okay.
have to humble myself
And I'm going to
today.
make a disclaimer right now about, first of all, let's tell everybody what we're doing here. That we are reviewing season 4, episode 2. If you have not watched the episode, please go watch it and come back to us. We will be talking about everything that happened in this episode and where you'll see some wild theories of where we think things are going to go in the future. Um, so just be warned. But really, there is no spoilers because you're watching this at the same time we are. Okay?
Also, I'm going to add a double disclaimer to that. I thought once we were done with last week's episode, I was like, wow, we're really going off the rails here. Like things are coming out left and right, theories. Sven, you had both Kendra and I shook with the things that you were proposing, and I can't wait to see if they happen or not. But the thing that made me so happy was the comments were popping off all week, and I didn't hear anything about guys too far. Like none of
Right?
this
No.
stuff is even plausible. The theories and like the other like predictions and everything, the conversation just kept rolling nonstop for an entire week and I loved it. I absolutely
Right?
loved it.
Like, or maybe this could happen. It's like, oh, okay.
It's like, okay, I see you and I raise you.
Right.
It's a safe
And
place here.
and if you don't see us comment on that, I apologize for that because as it is right now, I'm the only one that can log into this account, and I'm not real good at doing that. We do read them all, and I notice Kelly sometimes will comment on them from her account, but we do discuss them a lot. So please keep them
Mhm.
coming. It's been really good. But I wanted to start off by saying, and you touched on it about some of our wild theories. I have been reading different Facebook groups and different things on Reddit, just see what people are thinking of this last episode of the show of season 4, episode 1. There is a lot of traction of people thinking Elliot will meet his demise in this season. It's not just me. So, and
Wait, you
I
still
wanted to
think?
say, so Kendra and I talked about this. I mentioned this to her. When
Uh-huh.
I come up with some of these weird, whacked out theories and ones that are way out there, these two that you see here on the screen will kind of put a lot of effort into disproving me and why it's so wrong.
Mhm.
So I appreciate the viewers out there in the comments not joining them and attacking me on those things. Because, like
Yeah.
I said, it's just things that I see that I think, wow, that could really lead to this or that. I don't, I had a hard time this week thinking that Elliot is going to pass. But out of the things I've read, there's a lot of people bringing up a lot of good points. So it is yet to be determined, obviously. Obviously, I don't want to see that happen. But again, it is a TV show. It's not happening in real life. So if that's the way they write it, that's the way they write it. But just know I'm not alone in that thinking. There's other people out there that are thinking the same things.
You
Oh,
keep us on our toes, Sven.
yeah.
That's the goal,
You
right?
keep us on our toes, and
We
that's why
all
we
have our
keep
weird
coming
things.
back every week.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right. So let's dive in.
Let's
Oh,
jump
I
in.
already dove. I'm out. Keep up, guys.
Kendra just got back, so
I know
Hop
so
back in.
much. So many spoilers, but I'll try to keep them to myself.
Hop back in. Okay, this episode, I feel like just left me with more questions and like not questions of confusion, but questions of like possibility.
Hmm.
And I feel like we get that right away with this first scene. Like, first of all, the fact that this episode started with like Elliot getting denied, like going to the pond, blew my mind. I was like, did we go back like a bunch of episodes? Because it did not feel like that's where we left off in episode one. Do you know what I mean?
yes.
Like the fact that all of those things that we talked about happened in one episode, and then like this is where it continues. I felt like we skipped around a couple episodes, and I was like, wait, 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 this is like out of sequence. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
It
I'm trying
really
to put
knocked
words.
you
I was
off
like,
the track, didn't
am
it?
I in the right
Right?
place here?
Right. And we get so disoriented between the seasons with all the times we've watched this back. And now I'm like, it's only episode 2 and I'm already losing track. Like that first episode was packed with stuff though.
So packed in the
So,
best way.
and then this one
But
was a
yeah,
little more smooth.
Elliot's sad. The pond didn't take him. Him and Dell. And can we talk about Elliot and Dell's like
Deliot.
adventure through life together in this episode?
In my notes, I wrote Deliot every time there was a scene featuring the two of them. So
Deliot.
maybe you could change your name to that since you couldn't come up with
Oh, I
anything.
love that. Deliot. They're
That's
like
yeah.
bestie duo.
Uh-huh. It's nice.
But with that, like we get that, and we just get like the round one of Dell holding on to her memories and holding on to her secrets and keeping us on the edge of our seat, trying to figure out what in the world do you know that you're not telling us?
Yeah.
She keeps getting these flashbacks and like all this stuff, like conversations with her and Colton. Do we need a picture count in this episode? How many times we see the picture and don't get any context around it?
Right into the last minute or the last 5 seconds. Like finally she's gonna say something. But yeah.
There's some quotes in that or I'm not in that conversation, like in that flashback that again, just right away got like the questions going for
Hmm.
me. Like we all know there's more to her leaving than Tessa not loving Vic. It's like, okay,
Right?
well, what do you know? Tell us.
Uh-huh.
And then Colton's like, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but like his response to everything in these conversations in these flashbacks about like, we're keeping this pact, Deli. We made a promise. We agreed on this. We're not talking about it. I was like,
Right.
why are you
Does
so defensive about it?
this expose the pond details or something? I
So
don't
what are
know.
your takes on that?
I I don't have any yet. The only thing I could think of is they're somewhat close or know of the person that jumped with Tessa, the one that they rip out of the photo.
Mhm.
And there, it's almost like he's saying it with animosity as well as anger.
Ooh,
So that leads me down a path of who it could possibly be, which we'll get to when we get there.
okay. Okay,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, I have thoughts. Let's just put it that way.
I totally agree that there are just like some fiery feelings behind
Yes.
anything that he
Yeah.
says with those conversations.
Uh-huh.
He gets like all fueled up. But then there's also that like sense of like protection going on with it too. Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
said we were going to keep this and we have to keep this.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't wait to find this one out. Um, and then we find out where Kitty Cat went. She makes it to 1925. She gets to see good old Fern. Um,
Hmm.
and can we take a moment for this character of 1925 Fern?
She's fun.
I love
She's
her.
she's really interesting because like I instantly am reminded of Evie when I see her. Like,
Mhm.
ooh, and like I've said, like the now Kat has like a little fun, sunshiny friend to travel with or whatever, like Alice does. But then I was thinking like I feel like Fern has so much like depth to her, where I don't know too much about Evie still, where it's just like, oh, she's just so positive and dreamy and fun, and like I love her. But then Fern, I'm just like, oh, like there's so many like almost contradictions or something. Like she loves like the glamorous life and wants to be there, but then like the secrets of like her past where she's like, oh yeah, the house, it's done, whatever she called it. Like I don't know if it's
In the
just like
past.
shedding and letting go into like a new life and stuff, but I'm curious about her. I really like the character, but I'm just like, you make me wonder a lot.
I
Well,
really
and I think
got the I really got the pre-Ash Evelyn vibes.
mm,
Like when Alice went to saw her, in the 70s and the earlier seasons. I felt like, yeah, there's a lot there. Those two,
vivacious.
yeah, and they're both like in
Hmm.
the same spot, basically. And as we see throughout this episode, the parallels that they do.
Yeah.
So it's, I thought it was really neat the way they filmed this one
I just
with the
totally
different
agree with,
time frames.
yes. At first, I
Hmm.
thought it was going to be like, I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. But looking at all those parallels and everything, of course, my brain goes to like, okay, well, what are you foreshadowing for us? What's happening with one gal that we can expect to happen with another gal or whatever it may be. But you said it, Kendra, like watching Kat have a fun friend
Hmm.
and just get to like enjoy the time traveling and like enjoy
And
the era.
there's
Hmm.
no hint of romance with her. I know, yes.
Dang it,
It's
that's what I
just
was hoping for.
it's just her
Not yet.
traveling, having fun with Fern, and I think the love triangle this time that we're going to see is Fern and not Cat.
Mm,
Mm.
I think we
that's what
got
you think.
Fern,
Well,
Grayson, and Clifton
she
here.
knows where Mr. Cliff stays now, and she knows how to get in that house. So
Right.
maybe Cat will.
Who, Cat?
Uh-huh.
No.
I really,
I I really think they're pushing the wedding vow or the wedding
mhm.
proposal
Yeah.
and thing with Elliot. So I think they're in a good place right now.
Yep.
Commitment.
There's not going to be that outside influence unless Thomas comes back.
I
But,
Uh,
hope.
that
Um,
would be crazy.
Thinking about like this decade and like this chapter of time travel for Kat is really crazy because just as I was saying that, I was thinking, okay, she goes back to the 90s and relives what she thinks is her losing her brother and finding out that she's partially to blame for her father's passing. Ouch.
it's
And then
always
she
Cat.
goes to the 1800s and is like helping to save her brother and convince him to come. Like all of her time travel is traumatic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can
And
this one
so,
be
e-
informative and fun?
yeah, and
Maybe.
this is just going to be like, come on, throw a couple drinks back, honey.
It's
Don't let the
like,
cops know that you've been boozing.
yeah, that's a fun way to think about it. Because I was analyzing her a bit and I was like, she's so reserved and just like
Awkward.
watching, observing, like she's just wired to be like something.
It's always cat.
Always cat. Couldn't see it. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure she'll find her way into some chaos and drama and whatever
Oh
else.
yeah.
But it
Duh.
it's just exciting, I think, for her to be here. Even just seeing her all dressed up and stuff. It reminded me of like the masquerade, the Lingermore party that we don't speak about. Like just having some fun at first and be like, oh yeah, we're just here.
Hmm.
So it was good.
Totally. Okay, so Kat and Fern are chit-chatting. Fern's given Kat like the rundown of everything. And can we just talk about like the ease in which Fern is able to just A, accept time travel and B, talk about it with such like a level of expertise, and yet she's never time traveled.
She says
Yeah,
she never has.
that's
And
one thing I'm curious about. And also how open she was throughout the episode of like, does anyone know a Tessa Augustine? No. Like,
ooh, I've got an idea on that one when we get to
okay.
it.
So
Yeah.
it's she's obviously learned all this from her father,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that
which
what we're assuming?
that
What
is,
I'm
which is
assuming.
interesting to me because Colton never wanted to share any of that with his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And he just told them stay away from it, don't go near there, but never told them what the stories, you know. Even though he heard the stories from Fern growing up, and Fern got the stories obviously from somebody before her. Uh, but
Oh,
Colton
sorry.
never wanted to share those.
Mm-hmm. Possibly because of the way he might have been damaged by somebody who did something in the pond in the 70s.
Or he also thinks he broke the rules of the pond.
Hmm.
That too.
So,
Okay, I'm curious who's the first person to jump in the pond?
Right? That's what I wanted to
Like
find
who
out
figured out
too.
all this stuff to pass down the lore of the pond?
That's the spin-off. That was Finn. He
Oh,
was the
Finn
first
started it
one.
all.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Stormy and Lightning or whatever their names are.
Okay, so in that conversation of Fern just kind of getting the rundown from Kat and giving Kat the rundown, all of that, yip yap, and all the live long day. I think she talks faster than I do and more animated than I do. I was in awe every time she spoke. How? Um, she says something, and did you guys pick up on this? I started like officially watching the episode with captions on because I get so
Mhm.
much more out of it than when
Me
I'm just trying to
too.
listen on my own. She talks about like, oh, why would I don't time travel. Why would I ever want to go in the past? The future's the only thing I care about. And then she
Yeah.
turns around and like says aloud to herself, but I don't think you're the one though. I mean, you're
You're
a
a
girl
girl
after
after
all.
all.
And then
Hmm.
just like, nope.
What does that mean?
Well,
Who are you waiting for?
Fern really believes, I mean, she said it before that she thought Colton was the one, but he wasn't, you know, and
What
I
does
don't
that
I don't
mean?
know. We don't know what this one is. Is that
Mm,
like the first person that jumped? Is that the person that's in charge of it? We,
yeah, the
we don't know
keeper.
yet. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
TBD.
She has some sort of prophecy that's been passed down to her. She's been looped
Right.
in on, and she's waiting to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we know it's not a girl.
Right.
Right.
So it can't be Alice, which the theory was, when it came up in previous seasons, people thought, well, maybe Alice is the one, or maybe it is Kat. Maybe Dell goes back and she's the one. I mean, they've had all these different things, but now she's
Maybe
come
I'm
right
the
out and
one.
said, you're a girl, so you can't be the one. So
Yeah.
is it Griffin? Is it Colton after all? Or
Casey.
is it Elliot, maybe? Or is it, I don't know, what's that guy's name? Nick? His name?
All right.
Maybe it's Nick.
You can say
Maybe.
Nick. I'll say Casey. Kelly, who do you say right now? If you had to say
Griffin, my
someone.
boy Griffin. I
Cool.
already have a crush on him.
Well, yeah, you've already seen it.
And you have a crush on Vic, Elliot's dad, in the
Hot
upcoming
take, unpopular
episode.
opinion. Vic was looking kind of good in the preview for next week.
That's what a honeymoon will
That down
do.
south sunshine is doing him well.
Okay, but to be fair, who did you say was looking good in this one? Remember you sent a text right away as we
Oh
were
yeah.
watching.
I
Who was it?
Was it Vic?
I think I said it about Vic.
thought you said
And
someone else too. Well, you did when we were getting ready for this episode right now, like 20 minutes ago, you said Elliot during his glow up was hot. So it's hard to keep track of the
I
people you find
mean,
attractive. But you know what?
no, I think it was just Vic. Said, hey, guys, is it just me or is Vic looking hot now?
Yeah, that was okay.
And
It
the
was
funny
Vic.
thing is She's like, I know what you're gonna say all the time. And so I was watching, I was like, Kelly thinks he's hot. Kelly thinks he's hot. He had that tan. Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's been
Anyway.
drinking a lot of water. Anyways, so in the theme of like parallel storylines, yes, we see Kat and 1920s Fern and Alice and Evie kind of like living their like brunette, blondie, bestie, hanging out vibes. We also see like double storyline of 1920s Fern and 1976 Fern.
Mm.
Cat
Briefly.
hops out of, or Alice hops out of the water, stumbles into Fern as well. And I loved the part where they threw in there where like Fern has her moment, like, oh my gosh, I'm having deja vu. Like, this is weird. And
So far apart
hmm
that I was like, whoa,
But
but
she's
made sense.
just still accepts it and sticks to the same thing. Like, where are you from, dear? Or when are you from, dearie? Like, just
hmm
like
Right?
that's
She
just her
was
normal
trained.
greeting.
She was trained to like do this by her father or whoever. Like she knows the things to ask. Like didn't ask too much about Alice, right? Just mainly was just like, you're the most clueless time traveler ever. Goodbye.
I've never met a time traveler with less sense of direction.
Yeah.
Who have you met?
Right. That made me think too. I was like, okay.
I
And
that
like,
I think there's some of these questions we're just never going to get an answer to. I don't think
but
they
it
can
is,
wrap all of this up in one season.
yeah. It's fun they add in those details though.
Right.
To me, that because that means all these people from the future have come, like people we haven't met yet. So even if we knew, what would it really
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
Nothing yet. It's crazy.
and I struggled with this part because when they did these parallels with Fern and Kat going to Lingermore, and then Evelyn and Alice going to Lingermore, I had to stop and think that's not the same person. It's Fern and Evelyn, not
Right.
Fern and Fern in two different times.
Yeah.
But the way they were acting was the same, and things they were doing, they're all both going there. There's a party going on, you
hmm
know.
Yeah.
It was I was just like, whoa, that's not Fern. That's Eve,
Uh-huh.
you know. So
They're
that was
doing
kind of
some
fun though.
things. I think, yeah, intentionally trying to get you to pair those two or
Yeah,
something.
and the
And see
events.
the things that like stay consistent throughout whatever
Yeah.
time era you're in.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, the good ones got a party going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. Uh-huh.
there's
The
always going to
Landry
be
is
a
crafting.
brunette from out of town who popped in unexpectedly, and you're like, you go here? Like, there's just those consistencies throughout all the
Yep.
decades. But the best thing of the whole episode, in my opinion, our girls get back together.
When she pulls up in that convertible,
So
perfect.
cute. So cute. Evie is back. The gals are reunited after being apart for 2 years. Um, the world tour is over. She just got back a few days ago. It's fate that she's here on this day. And oh my God, she's married.
And my God,
Like,
this is where I wave my flag. So I thought she was going off to Morocco. Who'd she not meet in Morocco?
Mm.
Byron, who also apparently was supposed to be there. But I mean, whatever. Something could still happen. You never know. But that's where
well,
I wanted it
didn't
to
she
happen.
have more than one kid?
Well, I've had in my head she has two sons this whole time.
Right.
So when I
So unless they're twins,
oh,
Nick and
there
Lewis.
there is somebody else
yeah.
besides Ash in her future.
Or maybe she has another kid with him, even though people do it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
What confirmation do we have that she has two kids?
They say it earlier, and then even Max says something about his uncle.
Okay.
Okay. Because I was like, I don't, this could be something I've had in my head and then put in your heads, but I've
Right.
always thought there were
The
two sons.
the
And I've
one
been
dad,
wondering
Lewis,
what the second one is.
Lewis comes back. Obviously, we know about Lewis, but then they said the
Mhm.
other one, he said something about he wants nothing to do with Lingermore or Port Haven, so he just stays away.
Suspicious. But yeah, that's in my like
Well, yeah,
back
but it's
pocket or whatever.
I think it's
Mhm.
a way just to introduced that there was another person, but we're not going to bring him on the show.
Yeah.
So,
He's seriously background character.
so that does that sound like,
AKA background Byron's son.
ooh,
Hello.
there we go. I was
Ding,
just
ding,
gonna ask
ding. Bueno.
Sven because we've been pitching the whole Nick is Evie's kid, one of the two. But I was like, where do you even fall on that, Sven? You have your own theories and that you're not messing with that one?
I think either I'm trying to picture the time frame because
Ooh,
Nick would have to be
I Googled it.
what's that?
I did the wiki.
Because Nick really can't be born until like 84.
1984.
Right.
Yeah. So he's got a
So
ways
that's
to go.
obviously not
And it's
him.
76 right now.
Yeah.
I did think in my head that Lewis would be the older one because he does give the feeling of this Ashley character um more than a Nick would, and he just seems older than Nick. Doesn't he seem just
I also like
more
on the
parent?
wiki page to look up like when Kat was born. Her birthday is May 24th, 1984. And I was like, she would be a Gemini.
Oh, she just made it to be a Gemini. She
She's a
would.
Gemini.
Mm-hmm. Two different lives. That's funny.
Causing chaos. You can act like you don't know what we're talking about, Sven.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, then we'll stop.
No.
Um,
I mean, I know it's astrology, but I don't know what any of the
Yeah.
signs mean or what,
ugh,
all that stuff. And I obviously don't believe in a lot of that.
mhm,
Whatever.
mhm.
Tell that
So
to
Evie and
Evie.
Alice in their reunions, they head over to Coyle's. Um, and Evie's cute as can be, just like drops her off at Coyle's and says to Alice, like, make yourself at home. I have like a little errand to do. Yourself at home, okay. Right away though, I was like, she's about to go get a pregnancy test.
Oh,
Well, she does say she went to the doctor.
yeah.
I took that as that was in Port Haven, but right? Not that she did it in
That's
that
what she did.
moment.
She said later that that's what her errand was.
In that big town of Port Haven right there.
Oh my God.
Tells you the scale of the town that she could walk in, get all that done, and it was a quick errand that she was able to hop back to and meet up with
Mm-hmm.
Alice 20 minutes later.
I do have a thought about the size. It seems like in 1925, maybe because it was more of a glamorous time, but I was like, this town is popping way more than it ever was in the 70s, in the 90s, in the
Oh, dang it.
present day. I was
The,
like, was it bigger? And it like got smaller because I was like, nothing happens currently in this town.
it's
No, Lingermore was a hub to be able to booze during the Prohibition era. People were
Yeah.
coming from all over New Brunswick and Saskatchewan.
Okay. And then I was like, Lingermore's also popping in the 70s with like these poetry kids or whoever.
That
Like,
they had to fly in
the
from Europe
the
right?
to have
beatniks.
friends.
I was like, what is happening here?
It's
But
the 1920s Lingermore is just straight great Gatsby vibes. Just
Totally.
straight. And that was my favorite book in high school. So
mm, I
I'm
gotta
there
read
for
it.
it. I am there.
I
Um,
haven't seen the movie either.
yeah, so talking about the 70s and this group of freeloaders at Lingermore, I know everybody's initial reaction is, ew, we do not like this guy, this Ashley.
Ashhole.
So Ashhole. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I gotta give it to the casting group again and this actor that plays Ash because we're not supposed to like him.
Mm,
And he
Mhm.
does such a good job of just being that, poetry, thinks he's, leading this group of people.
Brady.
And he even says in the line where they're down the tunnels about, come follow me, my people. Like,
Mhm.
you just
so
want to
full
hate
of
the guy.
himself.
So he does a really
Right.
good job. So kudos to him for
It's
making
good.
us feel that way because he spoke.
Adding on to that point, on the pictures that like the 70s crew posted to their stories on Instagram this week, I think it was Devin that posted like a collection, or maybe it was Sadie, I can't remember, one of the gals. posted to their story just like behind the scenes, like film style pictures of the cast hanging out. Even in the off shooting group pictures, you've got young Colton, young Evie, young Alice, like all like cheesing together, and you've got Ashhole on the side, like even in like these off camera pictures, he's still fully in character. But maybe
It's
that's just
so
who he
good.
is.
Yeah.
Right. Like as you were talking, I realized I was like, who does this remind me of? And I was like, he reminds me of Brady. Like the not outwardly being awful, like so like mean, like, oh, you're just a bad guy. You're aggressive, you're physically annoying or whatever. Like, but it's just like those little comments that it's just like you
Pompous.
hear yourself when you talk. Yeah. So that was funny. But the looks, he looks so much like Max to me.
Mm.
So I thought that was intentional casting, just kind of like the structure of his face and stuff. I was like, okay, grandpa.
And
Maybe.
one thing that you're going to take away from this series of ours is we rave about the casting crew and how
Mm-hmm.
well they've casted every single person in this show. So,
Yeah,
of course, he
Right.
and Max resemble each other.
right. Well, what I was actually trying to imply is that Max is Ashley.
Okay.
Just kidding. I don't have any theories today. I needed to have one. No.
Jot that one down. Um, they pull out, they start chit-chatting with Jasper. We clearly want more Jasper in this. And Jasper is just like so happy to see Alice. Alice asks about Tessa. He goes, "Oh no, she's probably just passing through. I don't remember anybody named Tessa." And I was like, passing through in what way?"
Well, he
And then he
thought she
covers it up.
was
He's like summer folk.
summer folk. Yeah.
It's like that's not what you
Oh,
meant. You
summer
know.
folk. We
You
know we
know.
saw you in 1800s and we're not
Hmm.
giving that up.
In the brush.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start singing the Five Went In song, all about the explosion underneath Lingermore. Some rum bottles started popping off, and five went in and four came out.
Yeah.
Who was that fifth?
Cat.
Absolutely.
Four
That's what
came
I'm
out, but the
thinking.
four that came out were not alive.
Oh, there's a body that was not accounted for.
Right. Four bodies came out.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Everybody died in this.
Yes.
So then it
Okay.
absolutely has to be Cat or
Cat's
another time
totally the
traveler.
fifth.
But okay. Ooh, so then okay. All right.
Or never mind.
I have a theory, and we'll get to that. I keep holding on to him.
That it was Colton, and that's why he can't go back because he was the missing person. Oh,
No, my theory is I have to say it 'cause if I don't forget. Should I hold on to it or should I just say it?
Just say it.
Okay, because I'll forget it. Because I didn't write this one down. I have a theory that I love intentional story writing and the ultimate foreshadowing. I love it. I
Mhm.
look for every opportunity that I can to get it. With Evie being pregnant, I feel like Fern's going to get pregnant too. Whoever is the person that she got pregnant with, I think, is going to die in the tunnel and they're never able to get married. And that's why she remains Fern Landry.
Oh,
She doesn't have
okay.
any other name that she took from anybody else because she never got the chance to.
Interesting. You know, I was
So,
thinking when you say who, I was thinking it was going to be that Cliff guy.
well, there's so many potentials.
Instead of the obvious Goodwin, because then Kat was like, "Does this make me a Goodwin now, or a part Goodwin?" When she was just running around the house in modern day, and I was like, "No,
Right. Grayson's totally using her.
got to be this random guy who we'll find more about." That's what
Okay.
I'm thinking.
But yeah, that song goes on. Colton shows up, and everybody gets to get reunited with Colton again, and like all is right in the world for 30 seconds.
yeah.
It's great.
hmm
And then we hop back to the 20s. And Kitty Cat, I love the outfit that Kitty Cat's wearing in this. She has her like standard ensemble that she wears from episode to episode. Like it's like pretty with the times, like 2020's mom. ensemble, like kind of on trend, kind of chill, minimalist, you know. She stood out like a sore thumb in this with her like
Her
hiking boots
t-shirt,
on, her combat boots, and her skinny jeans and her t-shirt.
the t-shirt even just felt like she was wearing like a under like whatever you would call that, like unmentionables or something, like in a gray like little fitted t-shirt. It looked like we weren't supposed to like see it. Like, oh no.
But the way that like there were so many opportunities for people to comment on her clothes in this. Like when the gals are trying to get together to hitchhike and stuff, and they do the
Mm-hmm.
cute little 1920s like
Mm-hmm.
leg pop. The Augie boys show up and they're like, "What are you wearing? Like, what's with this fit?" And then later, Fern does it too, and she's like, "Is this just what we're wearing in the future?" Yeah,
Yeah,
and we
unfortunately.
haven't we
So,
gotten that.
does anybody think because now they've mentioned these clothes and what she's wearing, people have noticed it, like, oh, what is that you're wearing? Um, so back in the 1800s, she had that white gown on to look like Susanna, and
Which
people thought she was the White Witch at that point. Does anybody think that maybe she goes down in those tunnels in her modern clothing and they mistake her for a man? And so the fifth body that's missing, we're gonna find out they think it's a man and it's actually Cat because of the way she was dressed.
That's
I
a
mean,
poss
there's that
that's a
little
possibility.
tiny thing to think about. But
Aw, I'll be so
A little
sad not to
ponder.
see her. I pictured her in her witch dress the whole time.
I mean, they want us to remember all of that, like with the portrait that was in Lingermore, freshly painted, the White Witch scene with the kids and everything.
Uh-huh.
I do not want us to forget that she is the
Exactly.
White Witch.
And Boo Brunswick was putting it on the podcast, the story, so it must have to do with the witch. But that's a good thought, Sven. I would think I would think that too.
All right. So on this journey, um, to learn more about 1925 Fern, we find out that she lives at the Herald. And
yeah,
then,
and I'm waiting for them to show Cat back at the present to see if that Murphy bed's still in the wall.
pulls it out.
Yeah.
She'll use it to like woo Elliot or something.
There'll be some cab up there or something, some Pinot.
Some Pinot. She's gonna like pull a Fonzie and like punch it and just like, we can stay here tonight.
And then Byron shows up and he's like, "Hello,
How'd you find out about that?
This is my spot.
me and
Okay, so the
Eevee
Herald's in
are
its
here."
first year of being a paper.
Yeah,
Grayson Goodwin is the editor, to no one's surprise.
An owner, yeah.
And Fern does a social column and goes to all the parties.
right? I was like, I love this.
And she loves her life. And she's got a closet of dresses next to the desk.
Hmm.
Yeah.
She's got the pop-out bed.
Uh-huh. What more does she need?
Did she ever say why really she didn't want to stay at the farm?
I
Other than
want
she just said she was done with it?
I wanted to go back to this. I didn't feel like we were done because there's so many questions, but like I don't know if I have thoughts. You can see the farm or the house looks more run down than I think we've ever seen it. And so I was like almost having a thought like I was like, did the dad die? And maybe she kind of grieved that, closed the chapter. And now she's like, okay, this pond thing, whatever, I'm done here. I can go live my new life or something.
Mm,
But then I was also curious, and this is me reading too much into it because everyone's just waiting by the pond when our people come out and they're like, where am I? And they're just like, happen to be there. But I was
yeah.
also like, what is she doing there? If she is like kind of detached from it all. She's
Yeah.
saying bye to the pond or like, I don't know. But it seems suspicious. Like even when young cat helps Alice out of the pond. It's like, what are you doing down there? You've never even gone down there in your whole life, whatever. But I was thinking about it. It just seemed weird.
She's definitely giving hiding from something or trying to run away from
Mhm.
something. And the fact that she's able to rent the house out to people is like, it's
Right.
just you.
she's in charge
Like,
then,
nope.
right?
Uh-huh.
And like they said the neighbors, and I was like, last time I checked, the Augustines were the only neighbors, but is there also the people
Well,
whose land they were selling or whatever with
yeah,
Yeah.
there is
Sam?
another neighbor.
So there are other people, so we'll assume
Yeah.
it's them. But yeah, I was like, okay, if you're the one profiting because it supplies her blonde hair, she's making the money, she's in charge of this, it sounds like.
There's no talk of anyone else.
There's nobody else. Yeah.
That's good.
Um,
That's
I
good.
don't know. Get suspicious. And like naturally he could have just like passed away, like aged, it was time, whatever. But then I'm
Right.
like, no siblings,
No mom,
two parents,
no grandma.
something. Yeah. So it seemed like, yeah, she just kind of like wanted to let it go.
I mean, wasn't there a crazy plague, like the Spanish flu or something in the 1920s?
Sure. Yeah, we should know this.
Something? Look that one up. Put that up in the comments
Who's
for more people who know
who's the
things.
history teacher? Oh, wait, none of us.
I teach fifth grade social studies, but we don't study that.
Mm.
I feel like there was a huge like plague in the early 20s, so maybe it wiped out the family. I don't know if that hit in Canada.
I was like, when was influenza? I remember reading about that.
That's it. It's the
I have the
influenza.
Spanish flu in my head.
The
Oh,
influenza pandemic,
thought that was earlier, but
but you're both right. Influenza pandemic was called the Spanish flu. It killed an estimated 50 to 100 million people globally, infecting one third of the world's population. But it was from 1918 to 1920.
okay, that's what I thought. But I
So
mean,
that could have that fits. It could fit that time frame, and then
Yeah, and this is the aftermath of it.
yeah, it mostly affected at that time 20 to 40-year olds.
Okay.
So
interesting. Well, dang, that's really unfortunate, but it does work in favor of our plot.
yes.
Um, okay. Yeah, so I guess that we'll leave it there. The house stuff. It's suspicious. She's moving on from something. I think in my eyes, it's not as deep as I want to make it. Like maybe she's just ready to move on. It was a hard time. She's not a
Mhm.
farm girl.
And so yeah, and so with the house then it gets are we talking
Well, and
about
also
Clifton yet?
didn't like women's right to vote, like we're also like in that era too. Mind you, we're still in the United States, but like that was like the breeding ground of like a new generation of woman too. And she's like
Right.
grabbing
Right.
that by the,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
all of those things that are mixing
Yeah.
together.
Empowerment,
Mm,
opportunity, something. Yeah. Get me off
yeah.
this farm. Yeah.
There's a world out there for me to see, and I want to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Get it, girl. Go see it.
And she's talented. Yep. Spread your wings, Fernie.
Okay, so we hop back to Deliot. They're still having their bestie mommy son date
You
in this
love it.
episode. And they're working in the tree house or in the clubhouse trying to fix some things. Elliot shares with Dell, like, I did get my final 5 minutes with Colton. And like,
Mhm.
I just know, I know he built this for me and like what I meant to him. And Dell feels left out. She feels a little bit jealous. She's like, yeah, no, Jacob told me you did get that time. I wish I got some time.
I was a
Oh,
little
she
jealous.
will. Remember
I was like,
my
ding, ding, ding,
or my
Right.
foreshadowing.
theory?
Uh-huh. I heard you saying something right after she said that. I was like, man, Sven's right.
And then
But
they
good
go
for you.
drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of Deliot going out for wine.
Yeah, she took
Right?
him out to lunch.
Can I take you for a drink?
That was sweet. Mm-hmm.
Jumped on that so quickly. Yes.
Hmm.
Oh, their relationship though is just so cute in this.
Right. I was thinking about it and I was like, Del, is any part of you thinking like, oh, my daughter is getting married. I want happiness for her? Or is she thinking, I want that to be my son. I love Elliot and I need him to be around forever and security and blah, blah, blah. Because that's
Or
kind
is
of what
she
I was
covering
feeling.
up for the guilt that she feels that she knows everything that's
Yeah.
breaking his heart?
Yeah.
I'm going with
That
that one.
too.
She's so naughty.
I mean, there's there's quite an aspect of what Kendra just said though, because Jacob is away. She misses
Mm.
him. You
She's
know,
still
she got him
talking. Yeah.
back and now he's gone again. So she's gonna cling to Elliot. But there is definitely those guilt undertones and trying to
Yeah.
make up for what happened and she can't hold it in anymore. She's gonna blurt it out eventually.
Yeah.
Do it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think both of those things are in that one scene, especially when we find out, what Jacob's doing right now.
Which
What's
is
he
He's
doing?
working in a bar in Toronto. The
Hmm.
waiter where they went, remember, and he said, "Yeah, how's Jacob doing?" He called me and asked, if I knew this guy at this bar and if I can get a job, and I got him a job, and he's working in a bar in Toronto. And
Hmm.
Dell slams her wine.
Give me the bottle, not
Elliot
the
says,
gun.
take another battle. Okay, did
Yeah.
that feel weird?
Like
Out of place?
betrayal.
It felt
Or
again like one of those scenes like we had in the first episode with the buried things when Elliot tripped in the
Mm.
hole. It felt like it was added in after the fact.
Speed the
Mm.
things.
Yeah. Just
Yes.
as kind of a placeholder to say this is where Jacob's at right now. This is what he's doing. He's settled.
Yeah.
Now Dell knows where he's at and he's settled. Because she saw that the books were sent from Toronto last time, but
Hmm.
it didn't say that's where he was living or staying.
Or
Yeah.
planning to stay.
This
Yeah, he got
Right.
a job
confirms.
now.
So now he's
Yeah.
obviously planning to stay. He's not coming back in the next day or two.
And yeah,
I think
probably
it
hurt.
was, yeah, it was a way to throw that in there to give us location and just time frame kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so we're back in the 20s and Creeper Cliff shows up. Super
Is,
ominous isn't the right word.
is that any way to talk about a Landry?
Oh, here he goes. I was gonna
You
say, now's your
think?
time.
All right. So, yeah, let's talk about his arrival.
Shows up to the Herald.
Goes up to the Herald, ogles the women in their undergarments,
Woo, woo, woo.
and
Her scream when he
right.
first walked
I
in was
I
so
did like the way Fern screamed and jumped behind the partition thing,
funny.
and Kat just pulled the dress up like
What's up?
Hey.
because it's not, you know, as frowned upon
A
for
sign of the
being
times.
with very little dress on these days.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Now
Back
she's
then,
trying to flex
you
because she's
couldn't
like,
wear
"Ooh,
half the stuff you wear now. Back then, you'd
my
be
boyfriend."
arrested.
I ran today.
I mean, like you guys always hear me talk about this dumb story, but it was true that in the 20s, it was illegal for men to be in public with their shirt off. They had full one-piece bathing suits, that
Yeah.
were top and bottom. So you could see the difference the way Fern jumped and hid, and Kat just kind of held that dress up over her, like, what do you want? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know? It
Yeah.
really showed just in that brief thing, and I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I really just showed the difference in era
I
Yeah.
think
of
they
what
did.
happened there. I thought that
Yeah.
was a nice
Uh-huh.
touch.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so Clifton shows up
Clifton.
and he's looking for a house to rent, which is kind of bizarre, but I guess back then that's what you did. You'd go to the paper because they had want ads or, classified ads. And he was looking for a place to rent.
Yeah. So this thing about him being a Landry, that I mean throws my theory off because I thought they were Fern and Cliff were gonna slowly hit it off. They're gonna be like the enemies to lovers, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, but not if he's already a Landry. What are you
Well,
saying?
see, I was thinking the love triangle as well with Grayson, Clifton, and Fern.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's a Landry, then obviously that's not going to happen. But if he is a Landry and there's no love triangle, um, a couple of things that were leading me to that was the red herring that they did when they last talked about Cliff as he finally exposed to him that he was what is it, the temperance officer,
Yes.
and he held up his badge. And then we cut right to Colton and Alice, and the guy on the motorcycle goes flying by, and they go to the house, and he goes, "That's my brother Griffin." So it was right after he showed the badge. So it's like, is the red herring showing us that that's the same person, or is it really the same person? And then another thing that kind of tipped me off a little bit was when he talked about renting the house in the farmhouse and moving in. The way he said, "I'm already moved in. I'm already there." Blah, blah, blah. Like it, almost
Easy.
like he had to have had the familiarity with it to move that fast and know where it is, where it's at. You
Feel
know,
that settled.
to get yeah, like
Hmm.
he's already been there.
Yeah.
I don't
Hmm.
know. So
Interesting.
I thought
those
he
little
could just assert
things,
himself since he was in a place of power. He just does whatever he wants. But
yeah. I don't know. Those things just kind
okay.
of stuck out to me. And just so you know, I don't believe this, but we know how everything is intentional with these writers. There's a big theory going around the internet that he has something to do with KC
Oh,
because,
Great, because I can't stop thinking, how in the hell do they fit into any of this?
right, because
uh-huh.
his initials backwards are KC, Clifton Kane. So,
Oh, I thought it
so
was
that's a
spelled with a
stretch, I
C.
know, but that's a lot. That just to let you know, that's what's being said out there.
I
If you guys
love the
want to
updates
comment
on
on
what's happening
that,
on the
please
internet.
do. But that was another little thing. Like
Okay.
they
I
chose a
could have
name with those
sworn
initials in it.
my subtitle said CAIN.
It mine too, but when you look at
Okay.
like the credits like IMDb and stuff, it
Oh,
is spelled Kane.
okay. All right then.
So I don't know, just something just to kind of think back of your mind.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I also can't let go of the fact that Fern's character in the preview for the silent movie, Fern was playing a character named Cassandra. And we know that Cassandra is a family name because when Alice asked Max, like, yo, you got like a cousin or something named Casey? And Max was like, Casey, no, but like Cassandra's a family name. Like, is that what you're talking about?
Right.
I'm so curious about that connection with it all too. That
Mm-hmm.
name came back up in this one.
You you know I won't let go of the ghost in the attic with
And
the
that
Ouija
too.
board. Like,
Right.
because that is the person. Yeah.
Well,
So
is
like
that see the big theory too? The ghost in the attic is Colton hiding out all these years.
that's something I would throw out
Is it
too,
Fern?
right?
Right? Yeah.
Or was she just like given that name because oh, it is a family name in the Goodwins and
Right.
in the movie? Like, okay, makes sense. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So yeah, so then I
But
went down the hole that Clifton is Griffin, who is actually Sam.
how are people just morphing into each other?
They kind of look alike, younger and
Uh,
older versions. So,
Paperclip does not have Sam's blue eyes.
oh, good point.
Oh,
Wow, that okay. There
yeah,
goes all
fun.
that.
Rip it up.
I'm done. Goodbye.
Like
No,
the photo.
but it's yeah. There's I was kind of banking, not banking on that, but I was gonna push that a little bit. But I do believe I think whether it's a red herring or not, I'm putting Clifton as Griffin
Okay.
and
Wouldn't it be so
possibly
fun if they just keep us on the edge of our seats all season and we never get to see
right.
like who Griffin is until the very end or something wild like that?
Uh-huh. He's always just zooming by on his bike. You're like, oh,
So
I
now,
can't see him.
so if it is Griffin and people are talking about, well, Griffin jumped in the pond with Tessa. That's how she was able to jump and travel. But you look at that picture, and I really think it's Alice jumping with the person. Doesn't that person kind of look like Ashley now?
That would be weird. But
I yeah. I honestly I think that other person
Oh
is
my gosh,
Matt.
that's Alice's best friend move. She's like, hey, let me show you something real quick. Come jump with me in this water. Let's go swimming. It's kind of hot. She jumps in with Ashley and leaves Ashley behind in another time era, and Ashley can't get back because no Landry will jump with him. And she
wow.
saves her friend from her own demise.
And
And
that's
they
who
go
she was
back
in
to
the
the
pond
20s
with.
and he dies in the explosion.
Ugh.
Whoa. And Max and her never were in the pond together. It was actually Ashley because they look so similar.
And and that's the ghost now in Lingermore. It's Ashley.
Wow, we solved it. Okay, we can end right
Case
now.
All right.
closed. Seal it up.
Thank you all for joining. That's the end of the season.
Anyway, we need to keep it moving.
Yeah, let's get back on track here.
1975, right? We're
Yeah,
back.
Evie's married to Ash. Asshole.
Yeah.
Ashhole.
Breaks my
And
heart. You
that
know,
was
she's
Yes.
like locked in, dead set on something, like after leaving for a year apart, broken. Not a
it all
surprise, but come on, baby girl, we can do so much better.
escalated. When I see a ring, I think, oh, you're just engaged.
Yeah,
No,
with
but
a
then Colin's like,
full-on
your
married with a
husband.
baby on the way.
And then, oh, yeah, I got a baby. I was like, oh my gosh. All
But
right.
you know, she's reckless. She's trying to heal an open wound,
Mm-hmm.
a big
Right.
wound that's still
Mm-hmm.
open, as we saw at the end of the episode. Mm,
But there is a moment there where when Evie tells Alice that she's pregnant, you can almost see it in Alice's eyes where this is the moment that directly leads to Max being born.
mm,
Like this is an ancestor of Max. So she's finally starting to see Max's line.
yeah,
Or at least
Mm-hmm.
that's what she thinks she's seeing,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But, you know, where that goes or if that even matters, I don't know. But you just kind of see that moment of, oh, there it is. Now it's happening.
yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Evie sits there and just is like flexing in front of obviously Colton and for herself, quite probably.
Mm-hmm. Good for
Um,
her.
just
Do
trying
it.
to like validate and just be like, yep, I'm a new person. I'm a woman of the world now. God, I could just never imagine being like a small town person. And Ashol's like, yeah, Colton,
Well,
small
his
town
quote.
honky. Is that a bit? Is that offensive?
What?
The word that a honky?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Isn't that like
The
a dated
derogative?
term?
Okay,
Eh,
maybe.
Bleep her out if so.
I'm so sorry if it was. I said it and I was like, oh my God, is that like small town folk?
we're allowed to use it.
Look
Um,
that up.
and Colton, you can just see he's just like foaming at the mouth. And to break the tension, Evie's like, oh, let's go play in the tunnel. There's this crazy accident that happened there. A bunch of people died. Let's go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you get a party started. And she says something wild that I think causes Alice to like pause in her tracks. She's like, "Oh yeah, well the tunnels were used for like booze cells in the 20s, to make illegal alcohol, and
And they
then they
go
were
to the
used as jail
beach.
cells way before that."
Mm.
We're like, "Yeah, we know someone who was trapped in one of those and dying."
And Alice knew the story. She had never been down there to see Jacob down there,
Yeah.
but she knew the story from what Kat told her. And yeah, it hit her when she went down there. She looked in one of those rooms and was like, oh my God, this is
God.
where my uncle was,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, that's a
And she knew
cool.
Kat was down there and all that. Yeah, she has a moment.
Right. It's like hard that she had to do it, but then it's also like, wait, you actually like get to be a part of that 'cause she never went to that time at all,
Yeah.
which is so crazy. But yeah, like, well, now you did. But what happens down there also?
Um,
So
Go
they
ahead.
find where the explosion was, and a crucial piece of evidence happened. Yep. Ash picks up a pair of broken glasses that obviously look not very modern and picks them up, just kind of looks at them, tosses them back down, like whatever. So as soon as we see in an upcoming episode somebody in the 20s with those glasses on, and we're all
Mm-hmm.
gonna go, oh,
Cat.
Yeah.
Elliot. Now we know how he meets his demise.
He
Oh
protects his
You
no.
guys, what is gonna happen if I'm right this whole time and he
Oh, you'll never
does
hear
die?
you'll never hear the end of it from us. Like we got you.
yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's gonna be such a thing. But when it doesn't happen,
You'll also never hear the end of it
you'll
from
never
us.
hear the end of it. But I am there's a lot of things that lead me to backtrack on that. I did not have it in the time capsule. Yes, I'm keeping this envelope with this bad writing on it.
I
That's what
love
you
it.
get. Um, but it's not in there, but it's something I said, but I may backtrack that at some point. I'm already seeing things, but I'm also seeing more things that back it up. So we'll see what happens.
We'll
Because
see
as
what
of right
happens.
now, who's the only main character on the show that wears glasses?
But did you ever see him wearing those? And also,
Well,
you've seen how he
that's the
protects
thing.
his glasses when he jumps in the pond.
If he
You would
does,
not
but
find those glasses floating and broken.
if he goes back to 1920 and pulls out a pair of modern glasses,
Blows his cover.
so he's gonna wear something that's more to the times when he gets there.
I can get on board with that.
So,
Fine, fine,
I
fine.
mean, just
I
something to think
mean,
about, but I think what we, like you said when you were doing the glasses, that is a huge thing that we can't overlook.
but
It's Ash picking up those glasses because that's gonna be one of the characters or one of the people that dies down there.
Well, and what did Alice find on the ground?
that's what I thought. Like
A
a bullet.
bullet?
Oh, yeah, I think it's a bullet casing. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So,
someone was shot.
there's it going around that did somebody get shot, murdered down there, and then the fire and the explosion happened to
Cover
cover
up.
it up? Or did somebody get shot and the bullet started the fire
Mm,
and the explosion,
love it.
I think we're gonna, I
I
mean,
don't love
obviously
that,
we're
but
gonna find out the glasses and the bullet casing are big.
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
there's an aha moment that I had in the scene also, and I don't think it means anything, but it just kind of like sunk in for a second. We hear later on that like Evie talks about her grandpa Grayson, and it's like, okay, Grayson is your grandpa. And then we also know Fern is Colton's grandma. So it's like wild to think about the grandma and grandpa of these two besties hanging out
Ooh,
and
getting
being
together.
engaged.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird
Interesting.
to pair it up like that.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
also
wrote it
like,
down and I wrote dot 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 question mark.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's why I can't believe that they actually like stay or like get together. Like,
He's a
yeah.
good one. And all the good one dudes are dirty. Cyrus is nasty.
Hey, that's
Karma
my
got him.
guy. Don't disrespect his name,
Who?
Cyrus.
Toupee.
Oh, you saw that portrait in the background and you were like,
I
oh man.
texted you about it. I was like, how can I get that hanging in my own home? Do you
I
think
did
you
read
could give
It'd be
that.
that
very
to
nice in
me?
your office.
I did read
Right?
that text during a commercial. Just so you know, when this show is on and these two start going back and forth,
Only
I
during commercial
put
breaks,
my
I
phone in
think.
the other room because I can't
Uh-huh.
keep
It
up. I
was
want to
silent.
watch what's going on because any second now we're going to hear, did that happen in the show? And it probably happened when you were texting back and forth and you missed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's why I had to rewatch it with the subtitles on right
Hmm.
before this. Because there's some stuff I missed. But um, yeah, okay. While they're down there, I wanted to mention what Colton says. So I don't know if you finished your
Oh, yeah,
thought,
huh?
but he says something a little suspicious about, hey, Alice, remember that time I was talking to you about time travel? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, that it was fake, it was
Psych.
made up. Like, but what happened that he had to cover it up?
Bring that up to her
Like,
like that.
you wouldn't bring that up if you're just like, oh, that was kind of weird to say. Like, it doesn't matter because you don't see her ever. She hasn't been here in 2 years. Like, unless, what are
Something
we
happened.
hiding? Yeah. So I don't
Dot, dot,
know.
dot.
But something related to, I don't know, the brother, something, because there is that like tension there between them that we're feeling. And we know he's doing stuff, but
Yeah. Okay, so we pop back to the Gatsby party at Lingermore that Grayson's doing. He's having his party. Fern drops that like he brought Lingermore back to life after he came back from the war. The drinks are flowing. They've got like a little champagne like gimlet tower like in the corner. The White Witch portrait was freshly painted and hanging on the wall. They're showing Phantom of the Opera, and it hasn't even been released yet. Like this party is exclusive.
mm-hmm.
Um, And Grayson is very set on like, we're bringing a movie here to Port Haven. We're going to show Tinseltown just how great our town is, all 25 people that live here.
Right?
And then he's got his like bestie director Steve Carell, and he's
I,
there like to talk about making this movie. Fern's going to be the star, and it's Cassandra of the Lighthouse.
that was just so strange. I was like, I mean, I guess it's the 20s. So it's like movie content's going to be a little different. But I was hearing the story and I was like, oh. And then also I was like, this sounds a little familiar too. Where are you getting your inspiration from, bro?
It's about Port Haven,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right. Like that's what I was like, wait, oh,
And
true
Kat later
story?
says it's Fern's story, right? So
Oh
what
yeah.
I got a little lost by that because when was that Fern story? When did that happen to Fern? Like
It was
she didn't live
like
in the lighthouse. She didn't bring a sailor back,
I
to help and
I thought
watch
that
him
was more
die and all that.
symbolic of
Grayson
like,
does say, like, you are my Cassandra, and you did bring me back
yeah.
when I got back from the war.
Oh, okay.
Like you, I was shipwrecked when I returned. But I think that the ending that Fern talks about, again, looking for the foreshadowing always, she's like, oh, I just hate how it ends. The ending of this movie is just silly. Like, the sailor dies, Cassandra,
Ooh.
Cassandra shuts herself away in the top of the lighthouse tower and just spends the rest of her days longing for the ghost of her love. And I was like, Eevee?
That's the see, I got the parallel to Evie on that one because then Evelyn went to the top floor of Lingermore. She
Hmm.
had the binoculars. She stared out that window. Was she waiting for Colton or somebody to come out of the pond and come back to her?
Mm.
Or something, somebody else? There's so much similarities between Fern and Evie. And I don't know if they're doing that as a way to push the story along or if they're going to get to a point where there really is the similarity. Like this really is what's happening with her.
Well, then I also think about like my one idea that I have about Fern, like ending up with somebody or linking up with somebody who ends up dying in the Lingermore tunnels, she like, and then it's like she spends the rest of her days doing all of this stuff alone and like she stays Fern Landry.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she does that because she's like a 1920s free woman.
They didn't really have that though. That was pretty frowned upon to be a single mother, unwed mother back then.
Yeah, but then I'm like thinking about also like the Mom and Mary Poppins, you know, and how she was all about like women's suffrage and like fighting for women's right to vote and all that stuff. And like that's happening during this time too. So is she like embodying that too? And she's like, oh, this is out here and I'm doing it, you know?
Well, yeah, she is, but yeah. And there's another similarity between Fern and Evelyn is Evelyn either didn't get married and, or did get married and kept the Goodwin name because all her children are Goodwins, right?
Yeah. And Max
So
explains that at some point in a little more detail than what I can remember to
yeah,
Alice.
but it's
But
Fern Landry stayed Landry and her kids are all
Yeah.
Landrys. Evelyn stayed a Goodwin, all her kids are Goodwins.
right? I was thinking about
So
that
none of
too.
them took the father's name in any of this, which I understand. I mean, it's very understandable for anybody that's watched the show up to now. The writers, the stars of the show, who it's really basically about are these three women. It's very female eccentric.
Mm-hmm.
So the males aren't, you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no male lineage with this, except for Colton and his kids being Landry's. So it's we just keep seeing the
Yeah.
parallels and pushing the same, you know, I don't know if I've made my point. I probably
Yeah.
did, but
No, I got you.
it's it's a huge parallel, I think, because
Mm.
now you've got, these pretty influential families in this town, and they're keeping the same name even throughout without marriage and things. They're just carrying on those family names.
Yeah. Founding
But
fathers,
like you would think
founding families.
if Fern had a child with a Goodwin, you would think then the child would be a Goodwin,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they're not, they're Landrys. Just like Evelyn, you'd think that would be, you know, uh whatever
Background Byron.
Ashley's name is or Byron's name or whoever. And it's not, it's still Goodwin.
Yeah.
And that, I'm waiting for the moment we hear Nick Goodwin, but whatever, we'll wait.
We will. We
Just find
will.
his like birth certificate. They'll find it at the Roxy because apparently the Roxy hoards all of the memorabilia of
Yeah.
the town.
It'll
So
be in a box with
Thank
some old
goodness.
films or something.
with the basket and the blankie, which will
Even
confirm
though the
that,
blankie was in the wall of Elliot's house from the 1920s.
right? Don't
Okay,
forget it.
so Fern's at the party, she's performing. Grayson is just like very much showcasing her, which is why I think he is fully using her.
What
Um,
is he using her for?
I don't know.
The
Like
Because she doesn't
movie.
have money.
She's she's a
anybody
cheap
with that strong of a
hire.
personality and that level of charisma and is going to get paired up with somebody who has a history of like trying to make money, trying to get the deal, like that kind like that's going to get I don't know, it's giving shady.
Do you think he knows
Yeah.
about the pond and he wants the Landry land?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. So is his name secretly Sam Bishop?
Kind of like Lewis,
Um, or
Hmm.
yeah.
how he wanted
Um,
the land and for whatever reasons.
Hmm. There's
but
something shady. I just feel like
I
she's going to
will
be
say
maybe taken advantage of.
she's talented and so great. So like, how could you not like her?
Totally.
But there is something there. Also, like it felt like such a surprise, and it was supposed to because we were supposed to be surprised as the audience. But like even Kat was like, "Whoa!" Like it just felt so like, where's this coming from? All of a
Hmm.
sudden,
Hmm.
but
The engagement.
yeah, I was like, you
Yeah.
guys are that close. Like, what have you been doing then? So you don't like live at the Landry house. You're doing your editing
Fern's got
thing,
secrets.
probably with him, and maybe that's how you bonded. But yeah, it's just
Fern's got secrets.
mysterious.
And the thing that I wrote
Mhm.
down in like this scene also when they're just like hopping around the party and he's like, oh, we have a fortune teller and like we have this just to like flex how big the party is.
Mhm.
Um, the question about Tessa pops up again. And I noticed Fern redirects the conversation to Tessa whenever she needs a moment of like distraction. Like, you got a little too curious about me. Oh my, I'm so sorry. We never really got to looking for
Ooh.
Tessa. And that's when she like carelessly shouts out, Tessa, and like makes the scene out
Uh-huh.
of it too again to just like redirect the conversation and like distract what's going on. She's hiding some things.
Yeah. And that, okay, jumping ahead, but like that was so confusing to me how open she is about the Tessa person. When later we see like Tessa Cooper, though, will make you start to think, Fern, like, oh, something,
Well,
something.
right, but
But it's
as
like Tessa Augustine doesn't. Like, how many people are named Tessa?
I think she knew what was going on with that, but she was like, this chick doesn't actually know who she's looking for. We're good. But the second she was like, wait a minute, this could be who I'm looking for. Actually, she was like, oh crap. Yeah, she does know who she's looking for.
yeah, when she said Tessa Cooper, Fern clearly knew that name, and she was like, "Well,
Yeah.
shoot, what?"
It just
So
was surprising that she would like yell it out in public settings or even ask like the Augustine brothers and stuff. Like she's
I think it's a
bold.
front.
Right. Yeah. But I'm like, still, it's bold that I can't understand it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So we get to see Dell starts getting asked questions about Tessa on the Deliot date and the Deliot hangout of the day. Um, Also, I feel like this is the longest anyone's been time traveling.
Yeah. They're
Like
like,
sun
what do
up
we
until
do?
sundown.
Uh-huh. She's like, you want to get out of this house? Go out somewhere? He's like, yes.
And she
yeah,
just again does her Dell thing, and she was like, "Well, I didn't know Tessa that well. I just didn't like that she left you at the pond to fend for yourself."
I mean, that again, I'm like, is that your ego coming in a little bit? Like, oh, I thought you picked us to take care of him,
Mhm.
but it turns out you didn't. But I mean, I'd be mad too. It's
Well,
one
then
thing,
stop
like whatever
lying and saying
happened,
you didn't know Tessa well.
right?
Right.
I
You guys
mean,
had Friday dinners together.
she can't remember Alice, so in 3 decades, so maybe she didn't know Tessa well. Who knows?
Okay, so we already talked about like Evie being pregnant and all that stuff. We find out that Creeper Cliff is hanging out at the Landry farm. Of course, Kat drops the evidence that they've been boozing and ran away from a busted party.
It's always Cat.
Always Kat.
But he lets him off the hook because once again, she's being so obvious in everybody's face. She's a time traveler that you're never gonna suspect it. So, oh yeah, I know who Tessa is because I'm telling everyone.
Yes.
Kidding. Yeah.
It's the I wrote that down as like one of my favorite quotes because she's a time traveler.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, she just did that. Is she gonna like disappear?
Right. And he just goes, time traveler. Now he's gonna go home and think about it and be like, time traveling.
Hmm. All right, so the episode starts to wind down. Alice is hanging out with Colton after they've left Evie, and she plays him her song, the song that she's been working on and is so private about. She plays it, and Colton's like, meh.
Yeah.
Right? Who would have thought? It's like that is like so cute that she finally was like, I can do this because
It's
this is
you.
someone it's okay to do that with. So you're like, oh, it's just gonna be so perfect and he's gonna love it and it's gonna end up being passed down somehow in another decade and who knows where it's gonna end up. No, it's just like that's not it, girl. I was
I
really
don't
surprised by
know
that.
why, what they're gonna get at, and like why it was necessary for Colton to say that. Like, you have to open up your heart and like just be real. Be
Right.
real. Face how you feel.
I
Yeah.
think what's going to happen is she's going to write a love song of her love, and
Uh-huh.
we're going to learn who
Which
her real
love?
love is. Is it Noah or is it Max? Like, we're going to find out through this
Oh,
song.
because we have not addressed that in this episode. Anybody's present, anyone who's traveling, what's going on in their present, it's been neglected. I totally forgot about that. I was like, are you still hanging on to Nick, Sven? I think she's over him just because she buried the time capsule by supposedly the beach rock.
What if
Well,
she does
and
write the song about Nick?
And then she goes back to the 90s and they sing a duet because remember, he had a guitar too.
So, Carrie, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I left you out of that discussion, but now that you mention it, it could be Nick that she writes a song about. I was thinking all along it was going to be okay, we're going to find out. Is it Noah or Max? What's going on here? But maybe it is Nick. I don't know.
my
For
vote's for
one,
Nick at this point.
Maybe it's going to
right?
be Nick and her ghost name that she writes instead of using her name, she uses the name Claire. I don't know. Maybe.
And we're back.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. That's
Full
great.
circle.
That's good.
All
I'm
right,
trying to find
so
out,
oh, go
does
ahead.
anybody real quick, is the same actress that plays Tessa in season 4 the same one we saw in an earlier
Earlier.
episode? It's not the same girl, is it?
No, there's been like a 10-year age jump rather than a 2-year age
And
difference.
I was trying to find the name of the actress. I can't even find it. So I could
Mm,
find the one of that they're showing now, but I can't find if that's the one that was in the
yeah.
previous one.
It
OGTS
can't be.
seems so young, like 13 in my
Yes.
memory, the first time at Coils. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, it would make sense because
But
they
then the
do have to
preview that we
age.
see for next week, like she's not 13.
No,
No, not at all.
no.
So strange.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just see if that's who that if I can find anything. Because you know me.
All right,
Anyways,
so
keep
Dell's got
talking.
her pick out again at the end. Kat comes home after asking about Tessa Cooper freaking Fern out. She comes home, she's like, oh my God. And again, like makes the conversation all about herself and then realizes, oh crap, Elliot's sad again. And Dell, Elliot's new mom, sees him sad and she's ready to just like take this storm on. She's like, I said I'd keep a secret, but I don't have to keep a secret forever. I could tell y'all my secret.
Uh-huh.
And she pulls out this picture and it's like, mm-hmm. Spill the beans, girl.
Right? It's
Spill
like
the
it's
beans.
her moment finally. Do something, girl. You know something? Share it.
And just say flat
Hmm.
out, we tore out the picture of Griffin out of that photo.
Okay,
Right.
this is what, when we see Colton throw kind of his temper tantrum of like, no, we're not doing this. And he's the one who rips up that like chunk of the picture and puts it in the fire and burns it. It like, I couldn't not think, like, who are you covering up for right now? You know how like, um, Alice is always so apprehensive of being photographed. Like, "Ugh, you can't know I'm here." Kat's clueless and doesn't understand that there's like consequences for that. But it's also like Colton is very much like trying to be like, no, you know?
Hmm.
So like it's
Yeah.
we're obviously being pushed on the Griffin thing, but I'm also like, but is it Jacob? Or is it someone else that he knows isn't supposed
Well,
to be there?
Oh.
You
I
know?
I don't know if it would be Jacob because I, I don't
Who is
know.
he protecting?
Hmm.
Would no, it's gonna I would go out on a limb here. If Dell didn't recognize Alice after all those times, would she not recognize Jacob as the one that dated or was with Tessa and then was in that photo and they were trying to hide it as a secret?
At this point, I don't put it past her. She's walking
So
around with her eyes closed.
that
You're
is true.
saying Jacob's in this photo now?
I'm just saying, you know, like
Okay.
the
So
piece
I was
about ripping this person off, burning it, it's like equal parts frustration and mad, but it's also like, we can't do this. We can't say anything. And it's like,
Hmm.
who are you covering for? Who are you protecting?
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I had to confirm before I started like trying to piece everything in my brain and using all of that brain power. I was like,
That's a lot of
is
brain
it
power.
possible? I was like, huh, don't go there if I don't have to.
Right. And not saying like it is Elliot, but just
Yeah.
there there's multiple
Elliot.
or
Jacob?
maybe it is
I was like,
Elliot. Maybe
now,
grown up Elliot and baby Elliot
whoa.
are in the same picture.
but now since that picture got torn in half and we saw it burning in the fire of who was torn
And he
off.
burned it the day after he saw and met old Elliot and rebuilt the clubhouse. And he was like, oh my God, now I know who that is. Deli, we can't let anyone see this ever.
Off the rails.
So
I don't think it's
plot
off the rails.
twist,
I think it's totally legit.
Kat's not getting another romancer. Elliot's finally gonna do the cheating.
No, he's just there to hang out with his mom.
Oh my God. Right, it's his mom.
No, you don't think that that picture being ripped in half
Yes.
and then being burned was so Dell didn't recognize the similarities between the young man in the photo and current Sam Bishop?
My God.
Could be.
I
Because
mean,
Colton was like, I'm gonna die here soon. I gotta clear any evidence of my brother so that she can date him when he
Colton knows
comes
everything.
back.
Colton is the keeper of the pond.
he is the one,
He's the one.
no matter
He's
what Fern says.
fine. Okay, anyway.
And now Dell wraps it all up before she spills the beans and she goes, I don't know where Tessa wound up, but I think I know who took her.
She
Oh,
still
stop
didn't say
teasing
it.
us. Who?
Right. But conveniently in the 70s.
The motorcycle starts running. Someone's hauling butt down the dirt road. And
Mm-hmm.
with that same mix of emotion, frustration, aggression, for someone's as sweet, kind soul as Colton is, he says, it's Griffin Landry.
Right? I love how he had to just spell it out. Like, thank you. He spelled it out for us. Griffin Landry. Like,
Thank you.
great.
Sam Bishop. Oh,
Whoa.
Clifton Kane. Oh, wait.
Oh my gosh. Don't make me think that hard.
I
So
have in my notes right here.
possible.
I have my notes. It says Griffin equals Clifton equals Sam.
Well,
So it'd be interesting.
yeah.
The blue
Okay.
eyes.
Yeah, that's true.
So
They're
Not ruling
contacts.
out the other connections, though.
Right.
I have
Great.
a couple things that details that I wanted to mention if it now's the time to do that of
Do
just
it.
the recap stuff. So I don't know if we mentioned at the proposal scene and all of that when Fern's doing her performance and we see what's his name? Grace and Goodwin talking to the Augie boys, right? And doing something about why were they paying him? And like Kat even saying to Fern, like, are you sure he's a good guy? And maybe this is because her perception of the Goodwins is tainted from her
Totally.
other travels. But that is probably speaking to a lot of your thoughts too about like, something's off with him. Like, what's going
I don't
on
trust
there?
the Goodwin men.
But yeah, I was like, what are we talking about here? Like what was going on? We don't know, but
Well, and it's so interesting
I
to
have
me
no
that
thought.
these Augie boys, like
Yeah.
definitely in like Fern's eyes, are just like bottom of the barrel, like scum.
Yeah, right. I was like, okay, this reminds me of like where Vic's coming from when he's like, I
Yes.
hate you, Landry's, I hate you, Goodwins. I'm like, rightfully so. The way like they're treating them, like,
We don't talk about them. They're nothing.
right. But
Nothing.
then thinking about like, okay, Susanna's your other like relative, and like how different that like I mean all families have different members and stuff and
Percy and Little Mo.
decades apart.
Nothing about me's little.
But
Mo, it's a family show. It's
Remember though,
Hallmark.
remember Dell's or Andy McDowell's quote from season one?
no.
She called it spicy Hallmark.
Oh yeah. That it
All right, what
is.
else you got?
So I have some other things that one could go for a quote, so maybe I'll bring it up during our quote session, but um something that could be a little bit of foreshadowing when during I think the time traveler, she's a time traveler scene, Cliff made a little quote that said, when you see what you want, you got to go for it. And so I was thinking that was some foreshadowing around my theory of he's gonna try and woo Fern and kind of
And he could totally die in the
interfere.
tunnel because he's a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna bust the rum runners.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Didn't somebody during the talking about those rum runners and bust them, didn't somebody say they were involved with Al Capone or something?
Evie did.
Yeah.
And
Is
I
that
thought
just like just talk? Because I don't remember the history of Al Capone going up into New Brunswick, but
that's I was
maybe there's
hoping he
more
would
there
have
that I
something to
missed.
say. I thought the same, but I was like, I am not educated on that. But he's in Chicago, but that's a
Yes.
distance.
Okay.
But
Hmm?
Creeper Cliff is gonna be in the tunnels when the rum runners go off.
I think so.
That's what I was
Totally.
thinking too. Yeah. So,
Okay. You got any other points?
um, I don't think so. I mean, I do have one, but actually, yeah, I'll say it now, even though there is like a quote that I thought was kind of meaningful. So after Cole kind of says, hey, I don't like Ash to Evie, and she's like, whoa. But then when she's in the room separately, like kind of crying to herself, and Alice finds her, and she like says, he's not the one. And I'm like, I didn't know you were thinking that. And just like, I thought it was so dear how much she values Colton's opinion, I think, still. Because like they have gotten so separated and like don't seem as close or whatever. There's a divide there. I was like, oh, she still cares. Like that, I think I'm assuming that prompted that like statement and that realization
Hmm.
of like, he's not the one. She said they were like, their marriage was falling apart. But I'm like, aren't you guys like newlyweds? Like, you've been gone for 2 years. You had to meet someone, get engaged, get married. People can do that fast. But like, how long has it been for your marriage to fall apart? Like, I think, I don't know. I thought when he said that, she was like, oh, yeah.
I I thought it was interesting with those two when she called Colton her
Uh-huh.
Lancelot in an earlier season. She calls Ashley that now, my Lancelot. And then when adult Colton goes to see adult Evelyn to give her that check back, she calls him Lancelot then too. Calls him that again. So
She's she's love struck,
yeah,
and it ain't with
Mhm.
Ashhole.
No.
no. He is such an asshole, I tell you what.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, kudos to the actor that he makes us
Mhm.
hate him.
So good.
So
Yeah.
it reminded me of once the Game of Thrones character, um, the boy who played King Joffrey,
Oh,
was so hated on that show. Everybody hated him. He was getting threats and stuff in his personal life, and his family was being threatened because people
oh,
hated him so much.
that is so
It
sad.
he basically took himself out of acting and kept a low profile so people don't really know who he is
Ah.
because of the negative things he got because he was so good in that role. And that's kind of what I mean, Ashley, I don't think his character is going to get to that level, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the same way. He really makes you feel things that whether they're good or bad.
Right.
So
Right.
once again,
Never,
more power
never
to him. Good
any
job.
disrespect. Right. Any character, like even Dell, we talk about. Like, if
Right.
she can make us feel so many things, it's like your place in this show is so important because
Yeah.
the shows you're supposed to feel stuff and like it's amazing. So not every character can be like, ooh, I love her so much. She's the best. Gotta have the balance. So
Okay,
Um,
other points?
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Sven, what
Sven.
do you got for us?
I do want to say I was trying to find Daniel Gravel. That's we've been talking about him. That's the actor that plays Ash. So shout out to Daniel Gravel. We got to give him his credit
Woo!
there.
Did it, Danny.
I got a couple more things about a couple other actors. So we see Gabriel Hogan finally as Grayson Goodwin. Most of these watchers will probably recognize him from Heartland as Peter Morris. He's been on there for many seasons. Love the connection with him and Heather Conkey, the writer, and also Carrie James was on that show. But most recently, people may have recognized him. He was just in the movie Romance at Hope Ranch on the Hallmark Channel.
Mm.
So that was good to see. And then one of his side projects I talked about before, he did Tacoma FD, which was a sitcom with the crew that made Super Troopers movies. So it's a little raunchy, kind of juvenile humor
Your
because he
favorite.
plays an ex-stripper turned fireman. He's hilarious in that show. If
Kelly,
you
we
get a
got her
chance to watch it.
attention.
It is hilarious.
She's
And
looking.
he's a very fit man, so he fits the role. It's really good. And then Dan Janot, it's French. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, who plays Clifton. We just recently seen him in the movie A Royal Setting on Hallmark, and he was in one
Oh,
that I
that was
really
on today.
enjoyed, Love on the Danube. He was in that. So it's good
Dan.
to see these. And he was also in, which is a little different, he was in 13 episodes of Star Trek: The Strange New World. So
Mm.
it's good to see these,
Range.
like these people that are in other Hallmark movies now, where they're popping in here as these
Yeah.
characters. I thought that was just kind of interesting that two of the new ones have a pretty big Hallmark catalog to their
Yes.
names.
Yeah.
The Grayson Goodwin actor really got me. So I was like, I know I've seen you several times.
Yeah,
And it
he's
was almost strange because at least for you, like Carrie James, you're a big fan. You're like, Heartland, Heartland. I've seen him all the time. But like everyone in this show for me, I think is, well, other than Dell, is like a new
Hmm.
A new
face.
face. Yeah.
And yeah, not associated in my mind with like Hallmark at all. So then to kind of bring a character in that I had seen, I was like, whoa, this like episode and the scenes you're in, like they feel so different. Even though I don't know, it was cool, but interesting. I was like, someone's familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about all I have. And I'm sure everybody has noticed they are continuing the title of episodes as song titles.
Mhm.
Blinded by the
So,
light.
yep. And next week is Dust in the Wind. So
All we are is
That
Dustin.
feels ominous.
it
Oh,
does, Elliot. No,
in the tunnel. No, it's not time for the
it's not
tunnel
time for
yet.
the tunnel yet.
They're not, Cliff's not in love. Um,
Um, so other than that, I mean, that's really all I have. There wasn't a lot to dig deep into this one with things. We brought up a couple throughout this episode of us filming this. One was that she brought up the Spanish flu, and that could fit into a time frame of when Fern became on her own, because that could happen to some of her family at that time, and why she was the only one at the Landry farm. So that was a good point. Beyond that, I don't really have a lot other than Jasper's back,
woo,
which is exciting. Hope
he's looking
we
fresh.
hear more from him and things he did with Fern to save the pond and stuff. I think he was big instrumental in that. So I think he knows
Yeah,
more than we're letting.
Totally.
there's more. Yes.
Yeah.
Over here using the just passing through phase. The second he
Yeah.
said
Right.
that, I was like, mm-mm.
He was so quick with that one, wasn't he?
And then
Like,
there's like, summer folk.
right.
You are
So,
Thomas Coyle's kinfolk. You know all about it.
oh yeah. He
Mhm.
Know
knows he
all
knows a
about
lot.
I don't have any theories. I don't have any pounder points. All I have is just questions, especially like thinking about like the preview and stuff. Like things like I don't have any inkling on whatsoever. How are Tessa and Fern going to be connected? No
Right.
idea. No
Mm-mm.
inklings.
No.
Mm-mm.
Drop them in the comments if you have any inklings because I got nothing.
Right.
It'll
And
be
thinking
really interesting to see how it ties together.
we see this bracelet and showing up and
Yeah.
um and then how does Casey fit into any of this? How does Jacob fit into any of this? Like where we're going with this storyline. Like I can't nothing. I have nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, are we pushing the Griffin thing too hard? He went from being mentioned maybe one line in three whole seasons to now he's the like cliffhanger of like every
Cliffhanger.
uh,
Cliffhanger.
Ha ha.
you
Yeah.
wish maybe it is.
I know. Who knows?
I get it. I don't think I'm saying no to it. Because I just
Right.
like, are they pushing the Griffin thing too hard?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I
Time will
I
just
don't
tell.
know.
Time will tell. Okay, moving it to end this real quick. I just have one quote. I mean, there was quite a few in here.
yeah.
The one that stuck out in my feeble brain is I lost it.
You lost your quote?
Lost my quote. Where did it go?
Oh, I was like, I don't remember anybody saying that.
Oh, no. It was we briefly talked about the flashback with Dell and Colton by the fire.
Hmm.
And when Colton kind of got mad and raised his voice and he was just like, we both know there's more to Tessa leaving.
Mm,
Like that just right there summed up what we've been theorizing and trying to figure out and what the whole season's about, trying to
Yeah.
find Elliot's mom. Um, he just kind of encapsulated the whole thing. Like we both know there's more to Tessa leaving. So,
And just her not loving Vic.
right,
yeah.
exactly.
I thought that
And
was
Dang. Man.
Dell said she made that pact with Colton, but she says, it's time to
not all
basically,
promises are meant to be kept.
yeah, it's
Right? Good for you,
time to
Deb.
let that one out. But I thought that quote just kind of summed up the whole
Hmm.
what everybody's trying to theorize on.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Mhm.
it for me. I'm checking out.
I had two favorite quotes. I already mentioned them, but I'm going to mention them again because they made me cackle. Elliot saying, I think, yeah, we could use another glass. No, let's go with a bottle.
Yeah.
Loved it. And Fern's, because she's a time traveler. Amazing. Sums her up to a T.
Perfect.
Now,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to talk about that, and I'm sorry I'm going past the quotes now and going back into this, but that's another reason why I thought Clifton is Griffin. Because he kind of chuckled and goes, "Oh, I've never heard that one before." But he kind of acted like at first, like it didn't faze him.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, that explains it. And then he's like, I better not let on that I know about this. And he says, I have never heard that one before. And for that, hop in. I'll let you off with a warning this time because she's family. Of course, you're gonna let her off. But he really acted like he knew as soon as she said
No.
that wasn't a shock to him.
It's funny. It's kind of like your thoughts about when, and I didn't pay attention to this in the episode, but when Alice said, "Nice to meet you, Ash," instead of like, "This is my man, Ashley, my Lancelot Ashley," and she goes, "Nice to meet you, Ash." And we were thinking like, do you know him already? Why would you call him that? But I didn't pay attention because this is something we noticed in like the trailer, like preview for this episode, like how she acts in that. But I don't know if like Eevee had already said like called him Ash or something. So she's like, okay, yeah, I know it's like a
Yeah.
nickname,
Yeah, because
something. But that was weird too.
to call him that was just very familiar. Like
Mm-hmm.
she acted very familiar with him to
Mm.
say that. But
Yeah. So suspicious. So much suspiciousness in this episode. Mysteriousness. Are you done with your quotes,
Yeah, that was it. I love those two.
Sven?
I'm done.
Okay. What did I have? Okay, so the thing that I hated but loved when Fern said the Augustines are rats, rattiest of rats. And I was like, what the heck? What
What
did
happened?
you do? So
Right.
that made me concerned. And then also when she said about the house, it's over, finished. I have apparently written down as a quote. And I was like, okay, that's deeper than what I even thought earlier during this podcast. Um, but I think my main quotes were when Cole says to Alice with the song not being like good enough or whatever, he was like, I know your capacity to care. I know
Oh,
you. And I was like, that is so dear. Like the wording was so good. And then this quote, the wording's a little weird, but I thought it was sweet because Evie says it about when she knows she's going to have a kid. And she's like, I might have to do this alone. And then all of a sudden, she gets this spark of her old self pre
mm,
pre heartbreak, we'll say. She's like, I'm already so in love with whatever is happening inside me. If it's going to be me and this baby against the world or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's really sweet. So I felt like we finally saw like a little bit of her old
all
self.
right.
Just like, this is great. It's magical. It's all meant to be and it's wonderful. So hopefully that gets her somewhere. Yeah, I think those are mine. I'll end it there. I could probably have a few more, but my hair's drying.
I'm so excited to see what happens next. Like, it feels like we've gotten a full season of entertainment in these first two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it coming.
A lot has happened.
Yes.
So without any further ado, may the pond take you wherever and whenever you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
Oh, thumbs up. She's gone.